In the world today, protecting a country's borders is vital.
It is seen as a gateway to the UK.
These are the men and women in uniform responsible for safeguarding Ireland's borders. Stopping.
Look at me, behind the yellow line.
Searching.
Have you been stopped at a checkpoint before?
We just listened to me.
And seizing drugs, arms and illegal goods.
If anyone tries to harm me, that dog will tear them to shreds.
Saving lives.
I'd say about 200 kilometres per hour.
And protecting Ireland's inhabitants and millions of visiting tourists.
You could have been here 100 times. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get in the 101st time.
They police the ports.
But you have to make sure there's definitely nobody underneath the vehicle.
The airports.
Why did you tell me you weren't working?
And the roads.
These are very badly damaged straps.
If you can't drive the truck, shouldn't be on the road.
These are the Border Interceptors. Coming up, a Mexican passenger needs to convince immigration on her intentions.
Do you have the name of the hotel?
Trucks with tyre troubles are heading for the border.
If he was to get a blowout going along the road, he could lose his load.
And a van full of weapons is stopped at Dublin Port.
The ones I've ever seen have only been plastic. I've never seen come across these real ones, you know.
Dublin Airport is Ireland's busiest entry point for passengers flying to the country. 4,000 people are refused leave to land in Ireland every year, 10% of whom come from South America. A young Mexican lady has just landed and has arrived at Officer Danny O'Connell's desk.
Hello, how are you?
Fine.
And how long are you staying with us?
5 days.
5 days.
And then I go to Prague with my brothers.
To Prague. Very good. So why are you here?
Tourism.
Tourism. Very good. First time in Ireland?
Yeah, the first one.
How much money do you have for your stay?
How much money?
Yeah.
I have around 400 euros.
400 euros.
Officer O'Connell needs to determine if she qualifies as a visitor. As part of their profiling process, customs officers want to know that travellers have enough money with them to meet their basic needs. If he's not satisfied, she may not be granted permission to enter the country.
Where will you stay?
In a hotel with my 2 brothers.
Your 2 brothers, are they here?
No, they are waiting for me.
Very good. In Dublin? And is the hotel paid for? Paid for already? By you or by your brothers?
For my brothers.
Do you have the name of the hotel?
He wants to be sure that she is telling the truth about her reasons for being in Ireland.
So he's at the hotel already? Can you give me his contact number?
Yeah.
Please.
I can call him.
Yeah, please.
He needs to ensure that she doesn't become one of the many who disappear every year, seeking access to the UK and Europe via the back door of Ireland. But it seems she can't get through to her brother. Today, Road Safety Authority Inspector Tommy Wright is roadside.
We're down in Waterford Port. We're going to be stopping stuff on the way in to carry out inspections.
He's manning a checkpoint on the only road in and out of Waterford Port, the cargo gateway to Ireland's southeast. Every truck using the port will have to pass his way.
At the port, you're guaranteed more traffic coming in here, because they all have a purpose. How are you doing? Oh boy, there's some heat out there. I'll be like a turkey by the time I'm finished.
Finding a defect could lead to a truck being pulled off the road and the driver unable to continue with their journey.
You can understand people getting wound up about being stopped. They have to be in wherever it is, But if we don't do our job properly, well then something could happen down the road,
The RSA's target is for Ireland to have one of the lowest casualty rates in Europe. And it's through continued roadside checks like this that they will reach their goal.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
With this first vehicle on its way, the next truck is waiting for its inspection. Each driver is required by law to perform a walk-around check every day to make sure the vehicle is in good working order. These inspections are a simple way to make sure this procedure is taking place.
He should have done a walk-around check today. He should have seen that the tyre was like that, and it should have been changed. It's unsafe, it's dangerous. If he was to get a blowout going along the road, he could lose his load, and that could be thrown all over the place. So that's how bad it is, like.
Every year, the RSA inspects thousands of trucks and buses at the roadside to check if they're compliant. In 2016, over 15,000 vehicles were checked, with 43% of them found to have at least one defect. Tyres that weren't roadworthy and often incredibly dangerous was the most common issue found.
My colleague is after speaking to the guard, so what he's going to be allowed to do, because here isn't a place that you can change a tyre easily, he's going to be allowed to go down to the port. A tyreman will have to come change the tyre before he's allowed to go any further. He's only a couple of 100 yards away from the port, so the guard is happy enough to leave him go down as far as there, and it'll be sorted then before he goes back on the road. But it shouldn't have been like that in the first place. He shouldn't have picked up a load of timber with a tyre that's as bad as that, like.
The next truck along is carrying the same load to the port. But will it be in a more roadworthy state?
Did you do a walk-around check today?
Yeah.
Okay, and have you means of recording your defects if you find any?
I don't know.
Why is that?
I don't know.
How do you mean you don't know?
I don't have a book, like.
You know you're required by law to carry out a walk-around check.
Yeah.
When you find something wrong, you need to record it on it. Yeah?
Right.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look around, okay? It doesn't matter what kind of a panic or rush that the driver is in, we still have our job to do as the guards have. We have to enforce the regulations to make sure that all the vehicles are in a roadworthy condition. We have to make sure that things are okay before they're allowed to proceed, like so. Tyre is below the legal limit. It's bald in 3/4 of it, like there's no excuse for a fella that's driving the same rig every day of the week. He should know the condition of his tyres. All he has to do is bend down and have a look, and he'll know. He's required by law to do it every day. So when he sees that they're getting as bad as they are, he should have dealt with it before now. Like, it shouldn't have to be the case that I have to deal with it on the road. He's after coming from up the middle of the country, all the ways down here to the southeast, like, with a full load of timber on board, like. So with the day that's in it, the heat that's there, the tyre could blow.
The driver needs to take immediate action.
Did you not see those tyres yourself?
I didn't think they were
Under the limit. Yeah. How often does it go in for? It goes in every weekend, so it isn't today or yesterday that they're like that, like, you know. The onus was on him to make sure his vehicle was roadworthy. He obviously didn't do that, so he'll have to replace the tyres down there, the same as the last person. Make contact with us. We will then come down and check to make sure that they have been changed. Okay, so I expect to hear from you so in the next hour-ish, all right? Good man, thanks very much. Well, you can understand it for the price of tyres, like, they're a couple of €100 a pop, like, you know, so you can understand it to a certain extent, getting the most out of them. But you can get the most out of them and you can still be legal. Do you know what I mean?
The cost of a tyre is a small price to pay for better safety on the roads. This driver has got an hour to sort it, and the clock is ticking. Back in Dublin Airport.
Hello, how are you?
This passenger from Mexico claims to be meeting her brother. Officer O'Connell needs to verify her story. He's asked her where she's staying, but she says she doesn't know.
I can call him?
Yeah, please.
For him to be able to make the right decision, the officer needs to speak to her brother, but she can't get through.
Do you have his number and I can ring him from here?
Not to be deterred, he gets the phone number and tries himself. But before he can get through to her brother, the passenger finds the name of the hotel.
This is where he will stay? Okay, that's okay. Now, photo, just over here, please. Yeah.
Satisfied with the information she gives, he takes her photo for the immigration database.
Yeah, that's fine, thank you. Now, your documents and your passport. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Before allowing her entry to Ireland.
Next.
Dublin International Airport serves 180 routes with 41 airlines. This can cause 1 or 2 headaches at immigration for the officers on the front line. At Garda officer Mick Lally's booth,
What are you doing here?
there are problems with a young man who doesn't speak English.
Does he speak English?
Traveling together?
Do you speak English?
Yeah, I do, exactly.
Okay. And you send the guy up first who speaks no English?
Sorry?
You send up the guy who speaks no English? You're travelling together?
Yeah, yes.
What are you doing here? Yeah.
We were in London.
What?
We were traveling in London. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Just vacation, just travel.
Can I see your tickets to leave, please?
And at Detective Garda Ray Flannery's booth, a Portuguese couple have just approached with their passports.
Why are you here?
And he uses the opportunity to show off his fluent Portuguese.
Porque você está aqui. Estudar. Você tem que registrar aqui, dentro de 3 meses, esse endereço no mapa, centro da cidade.
It's due to his multilingual skills that he is able to process the couple quickly.
Registrar ao mesmo tempo, ok?
In
his booth, Officer Lally is becoming increasingly frustrated.
It's an e-ticket.
Listen, excuse me. Excuse me. Everybody flies on e-tickets.
Yeah.
You print off your itinerary if you wish to travel here. That's how it works.
Not only are they struggling to understand what he is telling them,
Listen, everybody flies on
but they
e-tickets.
haven't printed their return tickets for him to inspect.
You're going to where after here?
We go back to London.
Go back to London, and then where do you go?
Back to Taiwan.
Where did you fly from?
What?
Prague.
Back to Taiwan.
How long are you staying in Ireland?
Are you living in Taiwan?
Taiwan and Canada. Both countries.
You live in both?
Yes.
Despite the language barrier and difficulties with their return ticket, Officer Lally is satisfied that they are in the country for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's back to Officer Danny O'Connell, who is also checking passports at Dublin Airport.
Thanks very much. Hello, how are you?
A flight has just landed from Vienna, and this passenger has a serious problem. No ID.
You're not gonna like this. It's a complicated story. I live here, but
Yes.
I just lost my passport, my wallet, and everything basically in Austria.
Okay.
Although he has lost his documents in Europe, it is possible to fly without a passport if it's lost or stolen while abroad. Applying for an emergency travel document will allow a one-trip journey to your final destination. Having got permission to travel to Ireland, Officer O'Connell now needs to prove this passenger's identity before he can be let into the country.
This guy knows about
Yep.
it.
Okay.
But I have a copy of my GNIB card.
Perfect. Thanks a million.
And he's got an ace up his sleeve. A photo of his immigration or GNIB card on his phone.
A GNIB card is basically the Garda National Immigration Bureau card that is issued to non-Europeans. They might be the partners of Irish or EU citizens entitled to live here. They have to carry the card at all times, not only when travelling in and out of here, but also if they're stopped by a guard on the streets of Ireland.
Maybe swipe
So you rang Kevin earlier?
Well, Aer Lingus rang him from Vienna.
That's no problem.
Allowing Officer O'Connell to cross-reference his immigration details has meant this well-prepared traveller is on his way home.
I had got an email just to say that one of my colleagues had been in touch and given him permission to travel. He had a scan of his GNIB card on his phone, so I was able to check him out on our system. This is him here. And he is legal here. He's married to an Irish national. Her details are here, his details are here, his photograph is here. So I was satisfied that his story was true. No harm at all to have your passport on, especially the phones nowadays, the smartphones and that, have your passport on it. If you need a visa, if you're coming in, have a copy of that, your GNIB. It's no harm.
In December 2017, the GNIB card was phased out and replaced by the Irish Residence Permit, which carries exactly the same legal status. Dublin Port is a gateway to the Republic of Ireland. It's a well-trodden route by haulage vehicles and tourists alike. Security measures are in place to keep everyone safe.
Morning on, just coming in to do our usual.
Officers Vinnie Marr and Derek McGawley are searching for prohibited items.
Morning. Port security. We just do random searches, but you can see our boarding card on some photo ID, please.
Spare containers of fuel, guns and firearms are not allowed on board. The International Maritime Organization have developed a code to help enhance the security of ships and port facilities.
We're on a level 1 at the moment, so we just have to do 5% of all vehicles coming through the port. It goes from 5%, 10%, and then it goes up to 100% on level 3. So every port in the country and the land has to comply.
It might be a low security risk day, but they're still looking for other objects that could be dangerous if they got into the wrong hands.
Thank you very much for your time. All the best, yeah. You wouldn't just have a quick look at this? Not carrying any firearms, any dangerous chemicals, anything at all? Well, no weapons anyway.
Well, we've got reenactment weapons, which are all blunt.
Reenactments, yeah.
Reenactors bring history to life through performances of famous battles.
I stopped a guy here in the summertime and he had a samurai sword it was. I said, sorry? A samurai sword? He said, nothing to panic about. It's just a prop. It's this time of the year we get a lot of reenactments. All these people, they have swords, weapons, but they're only, you know, plastic or whatever.
These weapons may be fake, but they still have the potential to cause severe damage.
So are these items, like, real?
The metal reenactment swords,
right,
but they're all blunt.
Oh, right, yeah. Like, the ones I've ever seen have only been plastic. I've never seen come across these real ones, you know? No.
So you have them locked away in the safe anyway?
That's it. No, that's fine. You have them locked. Yeah, and they're bolted. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Satisfied that the props are stored securely, they advise the ship's company security officer about their find.
Go ahead.
Keith, we have a Mercedes van here. He has weapons. Now, they're reenactments. They're in a steel case. It's bolted to the end of the van. If you want to inform the ship in case they want maybe located in a different location on the ship, but they have blunt over.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'll inform the ship, all right.
We'll contact our CSO and he'll just inform the ship what they're carrying. So we shouldn't really have a problem. But the ship might want the van stored in a separate place. Yeah.
This time, security have no axe to grind with this Viking, and he lives to fight another day.
Most of the time, anything you find in these, people have a reason for having them. It's always something that they're either working with or they're bringing away on the holidays to use, you know. But once it's stored away somewhere safe, there's no problem with it, you know. Like.
Skirting around Dublin City, the M50 motorway links the port to the airport. It's busy 24 hours a day, and it's vital that drivers are paying attention to the road. Garda Traffic Corps officers Paddy McElroy and Philip Earle are driving an unmarked car, giving them the upper hand. They spot a driver using his mobile phone behind the wheel and pull him over.
The advantage of the unmarked car, obviously for us, is it's a lot easier for us to observe what people are doing and to follow them discreetly. The disadvantage, of course, from the public's point of view is that they don't see the police presence. Even though there could be a large police presence in the area, they don't see it.
In the wet conditions, there's no way this driver is getting away with the offence.
So this fella's going to get an FCPN, or a fixed charge penalty notice, sent out to his address, which carries a fine of €60 and 3 penalty points. If he doesn't pay the initial fine of 28 days, it goes up to €90 and 3 penalty points. If he doesn't pay that, it goes to summons. And conviction in court, it's 5 penalty points.
And it seems to be a day for it. It's not long before they've spotted another driver who can't leave his handset alone. Except this guy drives for a living.
That's a taxi professional driver, so there's no excuse for that. Put on the fresher jacket now.
Like in this day and age, for a professional driver not to have a hands-free kit just doesn't make any sense. A basic 60 kilometres an hour, you're travelling 1 kilometre every minute. So you can imagine those few seconds of just staring at a phone, how much road you've covered. You will literally see people on the motorways using social media. It's crazy. It's so distracting.
Like the driver before him, he's getting a ticket and 3 penalty points, which is really bad news.
This taxi driver that's been stopped for this mobile phone issue has stated that he has 9 penalty points already. If he pays this fine, which is 3 penalty points, and if accumulated 12 points in a period where he'd be disqualified from driving. It is what it is. That's the system we have, and that's the system we're going to use.
With 9 points already, this driver is going to be out of a job. That's one phone call that was definitely not worth making.